purposely pull over at the leather store?
That's your quieter than I thought they would be.
It sounds good. Typical Harley. It's made it 10 miles and it's already rattling itself to pieces.
Oh man, these whole things are chrome. They're not even covers, too. Damn it. I was hoping these were chrome covers and it was hiding black underneath.
Welcome back to the garage, cool cats and shop rats. Today we're going to answer the biggest question in the motorcycle community right now. Well, maybe not the biggest. Are Harley Davidson Sportsters the best Harley ever made or the worst Harley ever made? Those are the only options. Is it the best or is it the worst? There is no gray area, and it's a very polarized topic. That's why I worded it that way. Clever, I know, right? I'm going to give you my thoughts and my opinions on the Harley Davidson Sportster. But first, he needs no introduction. Colin, I think that was an introduction. Colin got a smoking deal on a 1997 Harley Davidson Sportster. And there's a little bit of a story where we went and picked it up. So I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of a story in for you. Cut. It didn't cut. Cut. Fuck. Cut. Officially the brand new owner of a not brand new 90 what? We don't even know what year it is. It's a rigid Sportster. That's all that matters. So 97 Sportster.
I know what I'm buying.
Lady just came out and says, "Oh, by the way, we've got spare wheels for this thing. They're included. I think they might be dual disc." That would be fucking awesome. Let's see. They are the mags. It's looking good.
I saw the fork leg, so I don't think those are. I didn't know if it would. Thank you.
Score. I'm jealous of his deal. Midnight, we were sitting in the garage drinking whiskey, and I'm just like scrolling through Facebook, and boom, that thing pops up. I sent it to him, and like he's like, hell yeah. So he actually crashed at my house last night. We got up this morning, made the drive out here. Totally fucking worth it. Everything about that bike is perfect. 2-in-1, the spare wheels, dual disc, the bars, the windshield. I mean,
Not sure about this windshield, I'll tell you that much.
you know, like the windshield?
I don't know, man. It's very. Hell, there's mirrors on this fucking bike.
Right.
Purple one. They had anything to sell off of it except the entire tin set. It looked brand new, and the bike was essentially done. Like it needed a 2-in-1 pipe, and that was it. I could tinker with this.
It runs good. 12 hundo.
I need
Spare parts to make some money.
I need a change.
Yeah. so we're just getting home, about 80 miles home, no real breakdowns, so that's good. We're gonna see how Colin handled the ride.
That highway ride was probably the sketchiest thing I've done in a while.
Why?
That's fucking great. I always knew I was an asshole.
Alright, now we're going to get to the reason that you guys clicked this video, which is to answer the question, is the Harley Davidson Sportster the best or the worst Harley Davidson ever made? Speaking of Harley Davidson Sportsters, some asshole just drove past my house on one right now. That's why they're the worst motorcycle ever, because they make people assholes. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to go through the pros and the cons of the Harley Davidson Sportster and kind of give you my final thoughts on it, and then I'll let you decide if you think it's the best or the worst, because it's really neither and both at the same time, which I'll explain. Just wait. First, two things, and I think the biggest things that are pros for the Sportster: it's extremely easy to work on because it's a pretty simple motorcycle. Even the fuel-injected ones, overall, it's a very simple construction. So they're easy to work on, they're easy to fix, they're easy to get parts for. Which is the segue into the second thing, which is that there's a huge aftermarket for them. You can get anything you want, customize it, make it whatever you want. It is literally just like a blank canvas. You could have a tracker, a flat tracker, an adventure motorcycle, a touring bike, a bobber. It's literally anything. Easy to work on and tons of parts. They're friends, they're buddies. Those two things like each other. They love each other. It's a good story. True. The third big thing that I think is really great about the Sportster is it's got a very neutral riding position. That's a great thing in my opinion. The position of the controls on it are in the mid position, which make it easy to ride aggressively or make it comfortable to ride long distances. You don't have your feet way out in front of you. You don't have them behind you like you do on a sport bike. It's just kind of like in the perfect position. And the final thing that I think makes the Sportster a great motorcycle is just the perfect balance of, okay, I don't want to say perfect because it's not perfect. It's one of the things that I don't like about it. But it's got a very good, for a Harley, balance of power and torque, horsepower and torque. It's very easy to ride. It's very easy to ride in town, and it's tons of fun because it's got monster torque down low, and for the most part, it pulls all the way up to about redline. But this is going to segue into my first con, or my first thing that I don't like about them, which is that they tried to make them too much like a cruiser. It does leave a little bit to be desired in the horsepower department. It does not quite pull to redline. It kind of falls on its face at 4,500 RPM. That's really just a cam thing. The cams that come in it push the torque curve down low, which it's got plenty of torque. The torque is not needed down low. It's got more than enough. I have found personally a good way to build these engines is to take a 1200, put 883 heads on it, or take an 883 and put a 1250 kit on it. Then go up to like the street Andrews cam, which doesn't require spring changes or anything done to the valve train. You don't have to open the motor up other than just changing the cams. The combination of those two parts with a good tune on the carburetor and like an electronic ignition or something like that with a nice tune on that, I mean, that is a great motor. That's how the motor should have came from the factory. It's a Sportster, not a Cruister. It wasn't supposed to be a dad joke, but after I said it, then that was a dad joke. I'm sorry. I'm a dad, but this isn't the place for dad jokes. I'm sorry. Another big thing that I think sucks about the Sportster is that the wheel sizes do not allow you to have good tire choices. The 16-inch rear is really just a cruiser motorcycle size, and you can't find good tires for it, and it really, really sucks. There's really nothing you can do about that other than just change them to 17s or 18s or something like that. And there are aftermarket options out there, but I really wish they'd, again, stop trying to make it a cruiser. It would have been a lot better for the motorcycle to come with different wheels from the factory. All right, now the last thing that I don't like about the Sportster is, pretty simple, and there's actually a lot of people who echo this, which is just that the belt drive is just not great. I mean, on a cruiser bike or on just a bike that you're treating like a normal bike, not beating the shit out of it, which is what Sportsters are kind of made for. But it does fine. Belt drives do fine, and they last a long time. But if it breaks on the road, it's difficult to repair. You're not just going to go find a belt at some hardware store where you can get, implement chain and repair a motorcycle on the road if you had to. You can't carry a master link and fix it and get it put back together. It just leaves a lot to chance. I don't like that. And also, when you beat the shit out of them, you're getting really aggressive with them. Wheelies and burnouts and all of that stuff that's fun to do on a motorcycle. And the things that Sportsters are good at and the thing that makes Sportsters fun, the belts break. And it's just, again, it's not a freaking cruiser motorcycle. We can agree that putting a chain and a sprocket on the Sportster is kind of how it should have came from the factory. But fear not, again, the aftermarket comes to our rescue, and there's tons and tons and tons of options that you can just swap that over. Super cheap, super easy to do, and bada bing, bada boom, you got a wheelie machine. So that's it. Those are the only things that I don't like. And I guess now I'm going to give you my final thoughts, and we're going to find out, is it the best or is it the worst motorcycle made by Harley Davidson? All right, my final thoughts on the Harley Davidson Sportster. It's the best and the worst at the same time. And I know that's confusing, but the reality is to some people, it's the worst motorcycle because they buy it with the wrong expectation. They want to have a Harley. They want to fit in with their bros with Dynas and Glides and all this different crap, but they ain't got Dyna and Glide money, so they buy a Sportster, and it was probably beat the shit before they bought it. So they buy it, they get the wrong opinion about the quality of the motorcycle because it was previously beat to shit, as the Sportster deserves to be. Then their buddies all make fun of them because they got a girl's bike, and next thing you know, boom, Sportster's the worst motorcycle ever because it's not the cruiser that they wanted to ride around like an asshole blipping the throttle with their buddies. And also, it's the worst motorcycle made by Harley Davidson because it's not great at anything. But it is good at everything. It is great at just being good. And the reality is, no one really spends all their time doing one thing on a motorcycle. And the Sportster is just good at so much that for most people, it's probably the best motorcycle. The Sportster is your girlfriend's first motorcycle. It's your first motorcycle. It's a chopper. It's a bobber. It's a tourer. It's a street tracker. And with a huge aftermarket, it can be any of those things for super cheap. Hopefully this video was informative. If you've got any other questions, leave them down below in the comments. Guys, please subscribe to this channel if you like these videos. And do not forget to hit the little bell notification so that you get all my notifications. Like this video, comment down below, blah, 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 all that different stuff. Until next time, peace!